Hello. Today, I want to talk about a simple, everyday condiment that's almost certainly sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now: vinegar. Now, many of you have probably heard that vinegar can help lower blood sugar levels. It's one of its more well-known benefits. But what if I told you that this humble liquid could also help with bad breath, improve the quality of your sleep, ease joint pain, and even help you recover from fatigue? It's an ingredient so common, so familiar, that we often overlook its true value. I know what you might be thinking. Vinegar, the stuff I use for salad dressing, how could it possibly do all that? It might sound a bit far-fetched, and I'll admit, I was skeptical at first, too. For most of my life, I saw it as nothing more than a common seasoning, something to add a bit of tang and flavor to my cooking. What kind of vinegar do you have in your home? Is it apple cider vinegar, perhaps brown rice vinegar, or maybe a dark, rich balsamic? The truth is, vinegar is one of the oldest fermented foods in human history, with a story that has walked alongside our own for thousands of years. In ancient Rome, soldiers were given a vinegar-based drink called pasca to restore their strength and stamina. Even Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, highly valued vinegar for its healing properties. But somewhere along the way, with the rise of modern pharmaceuticals, the wisdom of these natural remedies was largely forgotten. Let me ask you something. Have you been feeling more tired lately? Do you find it difficult to get out of bed in the morning? Do you get winded just from climbing a small flight of stairs? Today, I want to share with you the astonishing changes that can come from a single spoonful of vinegar. You'll soon realize that the ordinary bottle in your kitchen is far more than just a condiment. It's a gift of health from nature itself. To truly understand the complete picture, I encourage you to watch this video until the very end. The information builds on itself, and the full context is important. And if you find what I'm sharing to be valuable, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing. Your small gesture of support gives me the encouragement to continue sharing more health information with a wider audience. By the time our conversation is over today, I promise you'll have a completely new perspective on vinegar. And who knows, maybe tomorrow morning, you'll start your day with one small spoonful and take the first step toward a healthier you. My name is Dr. Robert Miller. I am 72 years old, and I am still a practicing internal medicine physician, seeing patients at my clinic every day. Over a career spanning more than 4 decades, I have treated thousands of patients from all walks of life. They often ask me, "Dr. Miller, how do you stay so sharp and energetic at your age?" I usually just smile and reply, "The secret is a spoonful of vinegar and a few other simple daily habits." But I have to be honest, my life wasn't always this way. If you had seen me just 5 years ago, you would have met a very different man. It's ironic. Really, I was a doctor who had neglected his own health. My blood sugar, my blood pressure, my liver function numbers, they were all teetering on the borderline between normal and high risk. Every morning, I'd wake up feeling like my body was made of lead. A deep, persistent fatigue clung to me from the moment my eyes opened. By the evening, my legs would feel heavy and swollen, and a dull, aching pain would settle into my knees. My sleep was shallow and restless. I'd wake up multiple times throughout the night, never feeling truly rested. To make matters worse, I started becoming self-conscious about my breath. Have you ever had that experience? Waking up and feeling so heavy and exhausted that the thought of starting the day feels like an insurmountable challenge. My colleagues, fellow doctors, recommended medication. A pill for your blood pressure here, something for your cholesterol there, they'd say. But I was resistant. I didn't want to become dependent on pharmaceuticals. For my entire career, I had always told my patients that medication should be the last resort, not the first-line defense. More than that, I held a deep-seated belief that there had to be a more fundamental, a more natural solution to my problems. Then one day, while reading through a medical journal, I stumbled upon a fascinating study from Japan. The research paper detailed the effects of daily vinegar consumption. It wasn't just about blood vessel health, which I had heard of, but it also presented compelling evidence of its positive impact on sleep quality and gut health. I was intrigued, but still skeptical. Could the answer really be that simple? feeling I had nothing to lose. I decided to give it a try. I started by mixing a single spoonful of apple cider vinegar into a glass of water every morning. To my complete astonishment, I started to notice changes within just 2 weeks. It wasn't a dramatic, overnight transformation, but a series of small, significant improvements. The first thing I noticed was my sleep. I began sleeping more soundly through the night, waking up feeling genuinely refreshed for the first time in years. The morning fogginess that had plagued me started to lift, my bad breath improved, and the chronic ache in my knees began to slowly, gently subside. It was in that moment that I truly understood. Vinegar wasn't just a simple seasoning, it was a powerful, natural gift that I had ignored for far too long. Have you ever experienced something similar? A small, almost insignificant change in your daily routine that led to a massive, positive outcome. Isn't it fascinating how the simplest of habits can have such a profound impact on our overall health? Now, I want to delve deeper into the 7 remarkable benefits of vinegar that I have personally experienced and thoroughly researched. I urge you to listen carefully until the end, because each point connects to the next, and understanding the full scope is crucial for appreciating the power of this simple liquid. Vinegar strengthens your immune system. First and foremost, vinegar is a powerful ally for your immune system. The organic acids and potent antioxidants abundant in naturally fermented vinegar work to activate our body's white blood cells. Think of these cells as the frontline soldiers of your immune system. Activating them is like fortifying the defensive walls that protect you from invading viruses and bacteria. Let me tell you about one of my patients, a wonderful 6'6" woman named Emily Davis. For years, Emily dreaded the winter season. It seemed like she would catch every cold and flu bug that went around. Her immune system was weak, and even the slightest change in temperature would leave her feeling unwell. She felt trapped in a cycle of sickness and recovery. After we discussed her options, she was willing to try my vinegar regimen. She was skeptical, of course, but she was also desperate for a change. The results were astounding. After incorporating vinegar into her daily routine, she made it through the entire following winter with only a minor case of the sniffles. She came into my office beaming. "Dr. Miller," she said, "this is the healthiest I've felt during winter in over a decade. How to put this into practice? For a powerful immune-boosting tonic, try mixing honey, vinegar, and minced garlic in a 1:1 ratio. Take a small spoonful of this mixture before breakfast. The combination of garlic, often called nature's antibiotic, with the benefits of vinegar and honey creates a synergistic effect that can significantly enhance your immune response. A crucial word of caution: if you have a sensitive stomach or a history of stomach ulcers, consuming vinegar on an empty stomach can cause irritation to the stomach lining. In this case, it's essential that you take it during or after a meal. It's also wise to adjust the ratio based on how your stomach feels. Always listen to your body. Do you find yourself catching colds easily? What methods have you tried to strengthen your immunity? Vinegar improves bad breath and oral hygiene. The second benefit is something that can restore confidence in your social interactions, improving oral health. The natural acidity of vinegar, specifically acetic acid, creates an environment in your mouth where harmful bacteria cannot thrive. It works to inhibit the growth of these bacteria and helps to eliminate plaque. In essence, its antimicrobial properties tackle the root cause of bad breath, rather than just masking it. I think of my patient, James Peterson, a 7-8-year-old gentleman who wears dentures. James had become increasingly withdrawn and was avoiding social gatherings, even with his own family. He confessed to me that he was deeply embarrassed by his persistent bad breath. He felt that no amount of brushing or mouthwash could solve the problem. I suggested he try a simple vinegar rinse. He began using it regularly, and the results were transformative. Within a few weeks, his bad breath had noticeably diminished. He regained his confidence, and, for the first time in years, he felt comfortable having close conversations with his grandchildren. He told me it felt like he had gotten a piece of his life back. How to put this into practice? It couldn't be simpler. Mix about 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar into a glass of water. Use this solution to gargle once or twice a day. For best results, do this after brushing your teeth in the morning and again after brushing at night. A very important warning: you must never, ever gargle with undiluted vinegar. The high acidity of straight vinegar can severely damage your tooth enamel, leading to sensitivity and decay. Always dilute it with water. After you finish gargling with the vinegar solution, it's a good idea to rinse your mouth once more with plain water to ensure no acid is left sitting on your teeth. Have you ever tried a vinegar rinse? If you struggle with bad breath, why not give this simple, natural remedy a try starting today? San. Vinegar improves blood circulation. Third, vinegar is fantastic for improving your blood circulation. Certain compounds in vinegar help to gently dilate your blood vessels, allowing blood to flow more smoothly and freely throughout your body. This can be incredibly helpful for alleviating common symptoms of poor circulation, such as cold hands and feet, numbness or tingling in the extremities, and even some types of headaches. I remember a patient named Susan Clark, 73 years old, who suffered from such severe cold feet that she had to wear thick, woolen socks, even in the middle of summer. Her feet felt like blocks of ice, and the discomfort was constant. I recommended she try a warm tea made with vinegar and ginger. She started drinking this concoction every morning. After a few weeks of consistent use, she reported a significant reduction in the coldness in her hands and feet, but the benefits didn't stop there. As her circulation improved, she noticed her complexion became brighter and healthier, and she felt a surge in her overall energy levels. "I feel more alive," she told me, with a warmth in her smile that matched the new warmth in her feet. How to put this into practice? A simple and effective method is to add a spoonful of vinegar and a few thin slices of fresh ginger to a mug of warm water. I recommend drinking this on an empty stomach in the morning. The ginger contains a compound called gingerol, which has its own circulation-boosting effects. When combined with the vasodilating properties of vinegar, the result is a powerful synergy that enhances blood flow. A necessary precaution: if you have low blood pressure hypotension, you should be careful with your intake, as vinegar could potentially lower it further. Additionally, if you are currently taking blood-thinning medications, it is absolutely essential that you consult with your doctor before beginning this regimen, as it could interfere with your medication's effectiveness. Have you ever struggled with cold hands or feet? Did you know that when your circulation improves, every single cell in your body receives a better supply of vital oxygen and nutrients? C. Vinegar helps lower cholesterol. The fourth major benefit is its role in managing cholesterol levels. Research has shown that the acetic acid in vinegar can help suppress the accumulation of LDL cholesterol, often referred to as the bad cholesterol in the body. At the same time, it can help increase levels of HDL cholesterol, the good cholesterol that helps clear plaque from your arteries. One of the most memorable cases in my career was a 8-year-old patient named David Chen. David was struggling with high cholesterol and was already on medication, but his numbers were stubbornly high. He was very worried about his cardiovascular health. Alongside his prescribed medication, I suggested he incorporate vinegar into his diet. He began consuming it consistently. 3 months later, he came in for a follow-up blood test. When we got the results back, we were both stunned. His cholesterol levels had improved so dramatically that even his cardiologist was surprised. How to put this into practice? A delicious and easy way to do this is to make your own salad dressing. Simply mix vinegar and extra virgin olive oil in a 1:2 ratio and use it on your evening salad. The monounsaturated fats in olive oil are already known to be heart healthy. When you combine them with the acetic acid from vinegar, you create a powerful combination for managing cholesterol. En important considération, if you are currently taking cholesterol-lowering medication like statins, you must speak with your primary care physician before adding a vinegar regimen. There is a potential for interaction that could affect how your medication works. Furthermore, remember that moderation is key. Consuming excessive amounts of vinegar can lead to stomach upset, so it's important to stick to a reasonable daily amount. Have you ever been told your cholesterol is high? Remember this powerful and simple combination. Vinegar and olive oil can be a formidable team in the quest for healthy blood vessels. Woo! Vinegar may have potential anti-cancer properties. Now, this fifth benefit is one we must approach with both optimism and caution. Emerging research is beginning to reveal that vinegar may have potential anti-cancer effects. Studies have suggested that the polyphenols and acetic acid found in vinegar may help inhibit the growth of certain cancer cells. I want to be very clear. Vinegar is not a cure for cancer, but it can be a valuable part of a healthy, preventative lifestyle. A patient of mine, Maria Rodriguez, a 64-year-old woman, was in the process of making significant dietary changes after having colon polyps removed. Polyps can sometimes be precursors to colon cancer, so she was highly motivated to improve her health. In addition to a diet rich in fiber and vegetables, she began incorporating vinegar into her meals. At her follow-up checkups, her doctor noted that the development of new polyps had been suppressed. Of course, we cannot definitively say this was solely due to the vinegar. Her overall healthy diet played a huge role. However, it's reasonable to believe that the vinegar was a beneficial component of her comprehensive health strategy. How to put this into practice? For a potent antioxidant boost, you can mix vinegar, fresh lemon juice, and honey in a 2:2 ratio. Take 1 spoonful of this mixture after a meal. The combination of vitamin C from the lemon and the polyphenols from the vinegar creates a powerful antioxidant cocktail. An absolute and critical warning. If you are a cancer patient currently undergoing treatment, you must consult with your oncologist before starting any new regimen, including this one. It could potentially interfere with your therapy. Please remember, vinegar should only ever be considered a supplementary method to support overall health. It can never replace conventional medical treatment. What efforts are you making for cancer prevention in your life? Pairing vinegar with a diet full of fresh vegetables and fruits can significantly amplify its potential benefits. Vinegar helps alleviate allergies. The sixth benefit is a blessing for anyone who suffers from seasonal allergies. There is evidence to suggest that vinegar can help suppress the body's histamine response. Histamine is the compound that your body releases during an allergic reaction, causing those all too familiar symptoms like sneezing, runny nose, itchy eyes, and skin rashes. Karen Williams, a 63-year-old patient, used to dread the arrival of spring. She suffered from such severe hay fever that she could barely leave her house on high pollen days. The constant sneezing, watery eyes, and itchy throat made her life miserable for months on end. After she began a daily vinegar regimen, she reported a remarkable easing of her symptoms. The sneezing and runny nose lessened, the itchiness in her eyes subsided, and she was able to enjoy the beautiful spring weather again without constant discomfort. It didn't eliminate her allergies entirely, but it reduced their severity enough to give her back her quality of life. How to put this into practice? A simple and soothing remedy is to mix 1 teaspoon of vinegar and 1 teaspoon of honey into a glass of lukewarm water and drink it before breakfast. Honey has its own anti-inflammatory properties that, when combined with vinegar's histamine-suppressing effects, you can create a synergistic effect to help calm your allergy symptoms. A specific word of caution: if you have asthma, you need to be careful. For some individuals, the strong aroma of vinegar can be a trigger for asthma symptoms. Additionally, if you have known food allergies, be sure to check the source of the vinegar, e.g., apples, grapes, rice, to ensure you are not allergic to the base ingredient. Do you struggle with allergies as the seasons change? It's empowering to know that a small change in your daily habits could help mitigate those unpleasant symptoms. C. Vinegar helps with anti-aging. And finally, the seventh benefit: vinegar can help in the fight against aging. The powerful antioxidants in vinegar work to neutralize harmful molecules in our bodies called free radicals. These free radicals cause oxidative stress, which damages our cells and accelerates the aging process, affecting everything from our skin's elasticity to our cognitive function. Michael Brown, a 5-year-old patient, began taking vinegar consistently and shared some fascinating experiences with me. He first noticed that his skin tone had improved, looking brighter and healthier, but the most significant change for him was the reduction in eye fatigue. He was an avid reader, but had found that his eyes were getting tired and dry very quickly. After a few months of the vinegar regimen, he found that the dryness and strain were greatly reduced, allowing him to enjoy his books and watch television for longer periods without discomfort. How to put this into practice? For a delicious anti-aging treat, try making a smoothie after dinner. Blend a handful of berries like blueberries or raspberries, a spoonful of vinegar, and a spoonful of honey with a bit of water or yogurt. Berries are packed with their own powerful antioxidants called anthocyanins. When combined with the antioxidants in vinegar, they create a potent force against cellular aging. A final note on this: if you have a sensitive stomach, it's best to consume this after a meal rather than on an empty stomach to avoid irritation. And if you have diabetes, you should consider replacing the honey with a natural sweetener like stevia to avoid spiking your blood sugar. As you get older, what changes do you notice the most? Is it a decline in energy, a loss of skin elasticity, or perhaps a dip in memory? Remember, healthy aging begins with small, consistent habits. Choosing the right vinegar for you. Now that we've explored these 7 incredible benefits, let's talk about which vinegar you should choose. Not all vinegars are created equal. They have different characteristics and, consequently, slightly different health benefits. Apple cider vinegar ACV. This is the most common and widely available vinegar. It's rich in pectin, a type of fiber from apples that helps reduce cholesterol. It's also a good source of potassium, which is beneficial for blood pressure management. Its flavor is relatively mild, making it an excellent choice for those who are new to drinking vinegar. I often think of my patient, Patricia Johnson, a 70-year-old woman who was struggling with high blood pressure. She started taking apple cider vinegar consistently, and at her 3-month checkup, her doctor was amazed to see that her blood pressure had stabilized. Brown rice vinegar. This type of vinegar is particularly effective for promoting digestion and gut health. It's packed with the nutrients and dietary fiber from the brown rice it's made from, which can help alleviate constipation and foster a healthy gut microbiome. As many of you know, gut health is incredibly important. The gut is often called our body's second brain for a reason. George Lee, a 6-7-year-old patient who was under regular observation for colon polyps, noticed a marked improvement in his digestive health after incorporating brown rice vinegar into his diet. Are you dealing with digestive issues like indigestion, constipation, or irritable bowel syndrome? Black vinegar. This vinegar is aged for a much longer period, resulting in a rich, complex flavor and the highest concentration of antioxidants among all vinegars. It is exceptional for anti-aging and fatigue recovery, making it particularly beneficial for those who suffer from chronic exhaustion. Because its flavor is quite strong and acidic, it's best to start with a very small amount and gradually work your way up. Linda Garcia, a 5-8-year-old patient who was battling chronic fatigue, told me she felt like she had gotten her spark back after drinking a glass of diluted black vinegar every day. Do you often feel tired? If you feel exhausted even after a full night's sleep, it could be a sign of excess free radicals in your body. Fruit vinegars, pomegranate, grape, blueberry. These vinegars offer the unique benefits of the fruits they are derived from. For example, pomegranate vinegar is excellent for women's health. Grape vinegar is beneficial for cardiovascular health, and blueberry vinegar is superb for eye and brain health. You can choose a fruit vinegar that aligns with your specific health goals. William Taylor, a 7-1-year-old patient, concerned about his declining eyesight, began taking blueberry vinegar. At his next eye exam, his optometrist remarked that his eye health was noticeably better than the previous year. When selecting a vinegar, the single most important factor is to ensure it is naturally fermented. Many cheap, mass-produced vinegars are just artificially created acetic acid with coloring. These products lack the beneficial enzymes, bacteria, and nutrients the mother that provide the health benefits. Look for phrases like naturally fermented, traditionally made, or with the mother on the label, how to start, and what to remember. So, how can you incorporate vinegar into your life? Beyond just cooking with it, You can use it as a health drink, a salad dressing, or even in your skincare routine. Many people simply use it for cooking, but are you now considering enjoying it as a daily health beverage? Here are a few simple drink recipes to get you started. The Morning Energy Booster. Mix 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, half a teaspoon of lemon juice, and 1 teaspoon of honey in a glass of warm water. Drinking this in the morning will help you start your day feeling energized. The Restful Sleep Aid. Combine 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, a cup of warm milk, and a dash of cinnamon. Drink this about 30 minutes before bedtime to promote restful sleep. The Digestive Promoter. After a meal, mix half a teaspoon of brown rice vinegar into a glass of water. This will aid digestion and help you feel full and satisfied for longer. Now, there are a few crucial points to remember when you start. Always dilute it. Never drink vinegar straight. It can burn your esophagus and damage your tooth enamel. Always mix it with water or another beverage. It's better to drink it during or after a meal rather than before, especially if you have a sensitive stomach. Start small. Don't begin with a large amount. Start with 1 to 2 teaspoons, about 5 to 10 milliliters per day, and see how your body responds before gradually increasing your intake. The wisdom of vinegar isn't new. Records show it was used for medicinal and culinary purposes in ancient Egypt and Babylonia. As I mentioned, Hippocrates prescribed it to his patients, and Roman soldiers drank it to maintain their stamina. Our ancestors knew its value. This ancient wisdom is now being validated by modern science. How do you feel after hearing about these 7 hidden benefits of vinegar? Perhaps before today, you only thought of it as something to splash on a salad, but now, I hope you see it a little differently. Think about the chronic issues you might be facing: bad breath, cold feet, allergies, joint pain. If a single spoonful of nature's gift could help you gradually improve these problems, which you might have thought could only be solved with medication, isn't it worth a try? As a doctor, I always emphasize that medication should be the last resort. Our bodies possess a remarkable, innate ability to heal themselves. What we need to do is create the right conditions and habits to allow that healing power to flourish. When you start with vinegar, begin with a small amount, perhaps 1 teaspoon 5 milliliters a day, and gradually increase it. Suddenly consuming a large quantity can be a shock to your system and upset your stomach. The quality of the vinegar you choose is paramount. If possible, opt for a naturally fermented, organic vinegar. So, what small change can you start with today? How about trying a glass of warm water with a teaspoon of vinegar tomorrow morning? My personal favorite way to take it is by mixing honey and vinegar in a 1-to-1 ratio and then diluting it with water. The sweetness of the honey beautifully balances the tartness of the vinegar, making it very palatable. And you get the health benefits of both at the same time. I start every day with this mixture just before my breakfast. Of course, vinegar is not a magic pill. It is not a cure-all. To build true health, you must pair vinegar consumption with a balanced diet, regular exercise, and adequate sleep. Health is not achieved through a single method. It is the beautiful result of many good habits woven together, and I must repeat this, if you are currently taking any prescription medications, it is essential that you consult with your doctor before starting a vinegar regimen. This is especially critical for those on medications for blood pressure, diabetes, or blood thinners. What is the most important thing in life? Many people would say it's their health. Yet, when we are healthy, we often take it for granted. It's usually only after we get sick that we truly realize how precious our health is. At 72 years old, I am still able to see patients in my clinic, take a walk every morning, and laugh, and share conversations with my family. I cherish this happiness, and I know that all of it is possible for one reason, because I have my health, and that health wasn't achieved overnight. It is the result of small, simple habits, accumulated day after day, year after year. So, won't you join me in starting a small change today? How about starting with just 1 spoonful of vinegar? It is never too late to begin. Your age is just a number. A healthy life can begin at any moment. To summarize, here are the key practices to maximize the health benefits of vinegar. Be consistent. You won't see results after 1 or 2 days. Commit to trying it for at least 2 weeks to give your body a chance to respond. Use it in various ways. Don't just drink it. Use it in salad dressings, marinades, and sauces, consuming it with vegetables. In particular, we can create a synergistic effect between the nutrients in the veggies and the benefits of the vinegar. Tailor it to your needs. If you're concerned about blood sugar, try taking it before a meal. If you're worried about digestion, take it after. Adjust your timing based on your personal health goals. Prioritize quality. A high-quality vinegar made from good ingredients and aged properly will always be more beneficial. If you can, choose organic, naturally fermented options. In my next video, I'll be discussing 3 specific foods that you should avoid eating with vinegar, as they can actually diminish its positive effects. It's a crucial piece of information for getting the most out of your new healthy habit. Let's build a healthy future together. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Please share your own tips and experiences with vinegar and educating. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.